The name Layori is coming from a part of my surname, which is actually Olayori. And Olayori means like through grace you were saved. So I thought it's a little bit less complicated and probably even sweeter to say Layori. So I had a little short form for it, Layori. I think I write now just really from what I feel, and I'm not writing to fit any certain category of anything, just really writing from what I feel at that moment, at that time, or maybe it's something from the past, but as it's coming to me. Put it this way, I feel the melodies before the lyrics, okay? And when the melody comes to me, it depends on how it comes to me. And a melody that I would have in Yoruba, my mother tongue, would be very difficult to put English lyrics onto it. So the mood gives you the melody, and the melody then comes into lyrics for me. I think the deeper something is to you, or the more emotional that is, probably automatically you tend to be able to express it maybe easier in your mother tongue. In the past, it wasn't like that for me until the album Origin, because I expressed actually everything in English. I didn't really even know that I could express music in my mother tongue. Kekere, which means little. And this song is talking about someone who's saying, I'm not too little, or I'm not too young to understand love. So, kilo tuwa o, kilo tuwa ti o ti ri o, kilo tu fe o, kilo tu fe ti mi o ti fun e, má fi mí ṣẹ̀yẹ, má fi mí ṣẹ̀yẹ kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ eré, má fi mí ṣòfò, má fi mí ṣòfò mò ń ṣọmọ kékeré. If you listen to the way the song goes, try to imagine that melody and putting it in English songs. I think it would sound very strange. My album title, Origin, I'm sure a lot of people might think that just means going back to my roots or something like that. But I guess for me, it really means just finding where it all started for me with music, and trying to integrate that in the way I express my music. Of course, in combination with adding, for example, songs like DADA, which is from my home country and which is in my language. So it's really a compound name, Origin. It's not just because it's songs that have to do with my roots, but it's me going to the depth of where music started for me. The album Origin, I worked with my producer, Wally on this project. And this was, put it this way, we didn't really plan the album. We met each other and we thought, okay, let's try something out. And before we knew it, it was like one song led to the other and to the other and to the other. And there were some songs also that I had written in the past, and then that we kind of like worked on the melody and the music together. And there were songs that Wally had written as well, and that I gave a totally different interpretation than to. And it worked so well because it was a very natural atmosphere. We didn't plan to work on an album with Wally Warning, but it turned out to be a very, very beautiful album. And I think the reason is because we were just having so much fun. It was always what I always wanted to do as well, was to have less instruments and let the voice also be an instrument and be also a dominant instrument to a certain point, because at the end of the day, I want to bring my message across. And I think with the character and the color of my voice, I really believe it's less instruments and letting the voice have a real freedom and flow is how I enjoy to hear it best, and I really think it doesn't need more. So I think that's why we had that great flow and feeling in the album as well. The remix of DADA by Renaud Letang, I think it's really fantastic, because a lot of times you have a certain production, you have a certain song which is ready, and you totally love it the way it is, and for whatever reasons, for radio or something else, you think, okay, we could add a little bit of this or that. But it's always a very difficult one, because or at least for me, it was very important that the song maintained the original flow, because that was how I felt this song, and that was how it came. It was expressed by me. And I think Renaud Letang did a great job by maintaining the basics, the roots, and I loved the way he played around with the drum sound, because it was like offbeat, and something about African music is usually kind of like offbeat, but the offbeat with the jazz influence of Dada, I think it's just fabulous, and I think it's very outstanding. To be honest, I don't really know many songs like that. I think it's very unique. And I thought that was excellent, because the meaning of Dada Lamade Bitanlo is, in a good way, we will reach that point where we want to reach. And that point is not defined by just me or one person. That point is for every individual different. And I thought that was a beautiful mash together with the Sahara story. And I think definitely if you think about Sahara, you think about also Africa, you know, and I just think it would be a great picture altogether, and I could imagine me in this real African fabrics with the brown sand and beautiful maybe rocks or something like that, you know. I just think it blends so well also with the feeling of the album. And even though, of course, like I said, water and the ocean is my element, I don't know, something draws me as well to this Sahara desert, so I'm very curious.